Welcome to 65. This is our podcast where we bring you powerful, real-life stories that reflect the changing tides of our society, told through the voices of those of us who are 65. It's a space where generations meet, wisdom is shared, and life's lessons come alive, one conversation at a time. I'm your host, Dr. Stella Olubunmi Dorgu, and I invite you to journey with me as I bring you a very special edition. Today we are celebrating age. We are celebrating experience and the intergenerational connection. We are speaking to a very special person today. Her name is Mrs. Gladys Olubunmi Jegede. She just turned 90. She's one of the few special nanogenarians that Nigeria has. You're welcome to our program, ma, and congratulations on this wonderful feat of longevity.
Thank you very much.
Again, we cannot say happy birthday enough. Congratulations, congratulations, and happy birthday. I was very privileged to be one of the guests at the party, and it was wonderful to see you celebrating that special day. How did you feel celebrating 90 years?
Well, I didn't feel 90. I felt younger on that day. I felt younger than 90 because I didn't believe it. But thanks to the Almighty God for giving me the strength to go on and make that day
A joyous one.
a joyous day.
It was really wonderful.
Yes.
And you looked splendid. You looked royal. You looked regal.
Thank you.
Epelema.
Ẹ ṣeun.
Epelema.
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀.
Eku ọdún náà.
Ẹ ṣeun.
Ayọ̀ náà mọ́rí.
Amen. Oh.
Ayọ̀ náà mọ́rí. Ẹ dẹ̀ sì pẹ́ fún wa. Mo mọ̀ pé nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ gbọ́ nìyẹn.
Amen.
You people who are nanogenarians, centenarians, you don't want to hear when we say you will still be around. But we need you to be around because we benefit so much from your words of wisdom, from the way that you have lived your life up to this point. As you reflect, can you journey with us and talk a little bit about your growing up? You said you didn't believe that you would be 90. Indeed, nobody believes. Because I remember years ago when I was 40 and I was asked, how do you feel? I said, I don't feel any different. I'm me. But can you take us back and journey with us? Your childhood, your parents, your siblings.
Well, it's not easy. I can't even remember many things right now.
And that's okay, ma.
But I will try. I didn't grow up in Lagos. I grew up in the East, Calabar. Calabar of those days, that is where I grew up. My mother was in Lagos. I was born in Lagos. My mother was a midwife at the old Mercy Street hospital. Then I think I was about 2.5 years old when my mother was transferred from Lagos to Calabar. So we started our lives in Calabar. And I was there until my mother was transferred from Calabar. I started school there. Transferred to Aba.
Wow.
After some years, I can't remember all these things. My mother was transferred to Port Harcourt, from Aba to Port Harcourt. And then eventually she was again transferred to Lagos.
She was transferred back to Lagos.
To Lagos.
Yes.
So we continued our schooling, our lives continued in Lagos. This is where I was until I started working at the Kingsway stores, Marina, Lagos. I continued the journey there. One day I was promoted as an assistant manager.
Wow, congratulations.
And in those days, that was large.
It was large.
I felt happy. Just a few years after, I was made a full manager.
Yes.
Still at Kingsway Stores, Lagos. And I continued there until I retired. And today I'm still enjoying the benefits of my pension. At least no matter how small, something small comes in. So I just give God the glory for that. And during my journey, I started having children. And God blessed me with 5 children. 1 girl, 4 boys.
Wow.
And that's the girl you saw here.
Yes. Sisi Funke.
Funke. She's my only daughter. And being blessed with those children. In fact, during my journey, that was how I met
your husband.
My husband, Mr. Jegede, late Mr. Jegede.
That's his picture over there. Yes.
He was a wonderful man. He was good, he was kind, he was loving. So I started bearing children, and he brought all the children up for me. The youngest is now in Canada, married with 3 children.
I know that you are a grandmother and you are also a great-grandmother. Great.
Great. I have so many grandchildren in Denver,
Colorado.
I stayed there for 19 years.
Wow.
Doing nothing, just sleeping and waking up every day until I told my son, I think he's outside here right now. I told him I'm going back to Nigeria. I have children here, I have grandchildren already. He himself, he with a family. In fact, his family is so large now. Children, grandchildren,
And great-grandchildren.
great-grandchildren, whom I give glory to God for.
Mama, you are an international person. Not only are you a true Nigerian, you were born in Lagos, you grew up, part of your growing up in Calabar, in Aba, Port Harcourt, and then came back to Lagos. Now, in all of these places that you grew up, how were the elderly treated at that time, in those years? You grew up in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. How were the elderly treated? Is it any different from today? Do we still respect older people the way that they were respected during your time?
Unfortunately, no, because the children of today, most of them have no respect for elders.
Sad.
That's very sad. I don't know whether it's the way they were brought up or they just decided on their own to feel that they are grown up so they can do whatever they like.
But in your days, it wasn't so.
You dare not, because there was discipline, even in homes. I can't say much. My children can say more about that discipline than me, because my mother was a disciplinarian to the core. First class disciplinarian.
But a loving one.
Very well, I wouldn't say she was loving. Here I am today. And I was able to bring my children up, loving one another, having respect for the elderly. Anyway, I thank God for today that I'm alive.
What about the role of the older people? We've talked about the younger ones not having respect, even though we know that most of them may have been trained well, they were nurtured well. What about the older people? Are the older people resigned? Are they just saying, bó ti ṣe wá ló ti wá yẹn o, kí la ti fẹ́ ṣe sí?
It wasn't like that at all, because the elderly, before you even say a word, they know you. You are Mrs. Fashero's child, and she's a disciplinarian to the core. My children grew up to know her as a disciplinarian. In fact, one of them is peeping through me there now, my third son. Anyway, I thank God for that. And there was respect for the elderly. Not like children of today. I don't know whether they were trained, they refused.
Akogba.
To change, or their parents didn't have time for them. Because having time for children is very important.
Here you are. You became a manager. And I'm told that you went through almost all the departments.
Of course.
Kingsway Stores was the store when I was growing up. And we remember the Ladybird
Lady Betty.
Underwear
Underwears.
vests and underwear briefs
Yes.
for both boys and girls. And you went into Kingsway with the escalator and you went through all those departments. How were you seen as a leader? You're a manager. What kind of a manager were you?
I was strict. Because you have to be strict. In a departmental store as big as Kingsway stores was,
Yes.
I was strict and I know my work.
Very important.
I kept to instructions and I did my work well. That was what fetched me
The promotions.
the promotions I got.
Today, you're a nanogenarian. You've had quite a journey bringing up your children, looking at our country, independence, military rule, and then now. What are your thoughts? How do you see the trajectory of Nigeria today? Where do you think we are headed? What kind of hopes did you have?
I think Nigeria can be better than what it is today. I believe that prayers does a lot. With prayers, things will be better.
Only prayers, ma?
Well, with prayers, teaching our children, encouraging them, to not to depend on people, depend on themselves, I think it will be better.
What were the particular things you've talked about? The need for independence. What were the particular things, what were the particular values that you think shaped you to who you are today?
I started having children. You have to bring your children up and bring them up right.
With the right kinds of values.
Not to say, ẹ fọmọ mi sílẹ̀ o, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ ṣáà fi wọ́n sílẹ̀, wọ́n ti dàgbà. Because until right now, my first son is 70 years old. And I thank God for that.
Ma, you talk about bringing up your children. I want to ask a question that everybody asks a woman. You rose up at that time when discipline, responsibility, integrity were watchwords. You rose to be a manager in big, huge Kingsway stores. And then you had 5 children. How did you manage? How did you marry your rise to being a manager and bringing up your children in the home?
Well, it wasn't too difficult because once you instill discipline into your home, definitely you will get good things done. So I wasn't too strict, but I was strict, just like my mother. As I said earlier, my mother was a disciplinarian to the core. That even when she was still at the island maternity, she got the MBE
order, member of British Empire.
By it was at the year when the Queen of England came to Nigeria.
Came to Nigeria.
1956.
Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful.
So we grew up with that, you know. You wouldn't want to spoil the name of
Your family.
your family. So we continued keeping up, and God helped us. Because without God, you can do nothing.
We know, but you've already said that you set things in place. In other words, you were a good planner. You were a good motivator.
And God helped in all those things.
And you had a wonderful marriage. Tell us about that.
Well, it was good. There was no problem whatsoever. And God helped us because we believed in Him, that with Him we can do all things.
Are there any special lessons that you learned along the way? Because I'm sure you had colleagues, you had friends in the neighborhood, you had friends in your church.
Of course.
What were the special lessons and how did you use those challenges, those lessons?
Lesson is that I have learned is help one another. Don't put anyone down, because tomorrow that person may be there for you.
Yes.
And that was what I saw on Tuesday.
At your party?
Right from the church.
Yes.
My old pastors came. In fact, my pastor from America called the wife too, to congratulate me. So it just shows that it's good to be good. So I give God the glory for that.
Growing up, coming to this level, 90 years old, it has brought with it its own challenges, its own joys. How have you been able to keep physically fit? Because I marvel at seeing you. What are the things that you did that made you so fit? Of course, you talked about living in Colorado for so many years. Was that part of it? Or were there things that you learned from your childhood that has maintained you to this point?
Well, it was only God's doing.
And it is marvelous in our eyes.
It is God who did it. It's not me. Because when I go to bed in the night and I wake up in the morning, I said, God, I'm up again. I just thank Him, I bless Him. Because whatever I do is not by my power, but by God's power and grace. It is all grace. So that's what I have to say.
But there are some things that you must have done to keep looking so nice, so beautiful, so regal.
Nothing except that in the morning when I wake up, I come downstairs.
Mama, what you bear, Loma?
What do I do? I don't walk.
Anymore?
When I was in America for 19 years, I didn't walk even for a day.
But you walked. Emauni?
I do. Ṣùgbọ́n pé kí n ṣiṣẹ́, mi ò ṣiṣẹ́ ìjọ kan l'Amẹ́ríkà tí mo wà. When I said I was coming back to Nigeria, I used to visit because my children were here too. I had children here. When I wake up in the morning, nowhere to go.
Nobody to take you. Everybody has gone to work.
They've gone to work.
Children have gone to school.
So I know what to do about myself. I walk around the house. I prepare my food. At weekend, I have a lady who comes to pick me to the store, grocery store, to buy groceries for myself. And that was what I did. And my son took care of me.
To be up until 90. Many elderly people, they have a lot of physical challenges.
God was kind to me. He was good.
Maybe you also want to ascribe the genes too. You must have been blessed with good genes.
Thank God.
But it's not, is that enough? Aren't there things that we really should do in order to keep ourselves to be looking this beautiful?
There is nothing. It is God's doing. It's God who did it. It's not me. Because many of the people we grew up together, we worked together, they are dead years and years and years ago. In fact, many of them, those who are alive, when I see them now, I don't even know them. I can't recognize them.
Because they have changed so much.
You know, there's nothing special to it than how you live your life. That's all I know. There's nothing special. To say, I want to live longer, I will do this and do that and do that.
But there has to be discipline.
Of course.
You can't overeat. You can't be a glutton.
How can you? Even with the country right now, can you even eat more than what you can afford? But I thank God. God has been faithful. He's the one who kept me like that, like this.
You talk about your pension. A lot of old people aren't very happy with the way that old people are taken care of in this country. You lived 19 years outside. And you saw how the elderly were taken care of. Is it something that you would want to advocate, say that we should do more in Nigeria?
I wonder whether you can do that in Nigeria. Because when I became a citizen, they started paying me $500 every month. Free. I wasn't working, just watching television, sleeping, waking up early. That's all. And I was getting $500 every month. You know, that was what kept me going in America.
And you had your free medical?
Of course.
You had a pass when you entered the bus?
Well, I don't usually enter bus. I don't even think I've entered bus before, because my son was there, and some of the children are grown up.
Yes.
So, and my son's wife, and the Nigerians, you know.
It was a good Nigerian community.
Church members, because we started the Redeemed Christian Church of God in Denver. So they were all there. If I want to go to church, they come and pick me up and bring me back home. So that was good.
So you're telling us that whether abroad, whether at home, a good community,
of course,
involving in community, is also essential to
very.
good health?
But, well, it is. It is. I just thank God for all that.
Now, ma, what are the lessons, what are the advice that you will give to the new generation? What will you say that they should do so that they too will end up looking beautiful like you?
The new generation you're talking about, they have their own mind. No matter what you tell them, they will still follow their hearts. You can't force them to do anything good. That is why I'm saying it is God's own doing. It's God who made me what I am today. So I just thank him for that.
So you're saying we too, the younger people, should have God at the center of their lives?
Of course, very important. That is if they will listen to you. God first.
And every other thing will follow. What is your favorite food?
But
Indomie.
in fact, this is 30 me, you know, what it disappeared, me. Kitsuni.
Abula. Kinje, very good. Snack niye.
Snack niye, ngba bi ti ba je oni ma je sun.
Pẹ̀lú tea.
That every morning I must have it 3 in 1. Yes. I like it so much. Every day. Today I've had 2 cups. There's possibility in the night,
evening again.
I take another one. So.
But you drink a lot of water, don't you?
Yeah, I do try to drink a lot of water.
Mama, I just keep coming at it. I know it is God that does everything. But I'm looking at you. I'm looking at even your set of teeth. They're beautiful. That shows that you are somebody who cares for your health. It's not only God that comes to tell us to take care of our health, to be neat. So those are the things that I'm talking about. How important is taking care of ourselves, taking care of our lives, our health in our longevity sojourn?
It's very, very important. And, you know, cleanliness, we shouldn't be careless about. In fact, the food we eat, the environment we live in, we shouldn't be careless. That helps a lot to keep one going. Every day, normally by now, I'll be out there sitting with the lady, the hairdresser there, until when I'm noju. When I'm tired, I come in. And I watch television all the time because I have no job, unless there's someone to employ me.
And I'm sure they would love to employ you to gain all those wisdom, all those strategic planning that you did at work.
And then they should be able to pay my medical
bills. What legacy do you want to be remembered for?
I want my children to remember me as a strict person because that was how I was brought up. My mother, being a Sierra Leonean, she was very, very strict. In fact, till today, we remember her strictness. So I'm a strict person, and I can't see things and pretend not to see it. But I will not, interfere in things that does not concern me. I mind my business.
But you were also a loving and doting mother.
I know.
Because I heard all the grandchildren talking about grandma and how you used to gist with one of them.
Well, I do all that, but at the same time, I don't condone rubbish.
Yes. What is your favorite Nigerian song? I cannot live without you singing for us.
Wíwá tí mo wà láàyè, agbára mi kọ́. Wíwá tí mo wà láàyè, ògo ni forúkọ rẹ̀. Wíwá tí mo wà láàyè, agbára mi kọ́. Wíwá tí mo wà láàyè, ògo ni forúkọ rẹ̀.
Thank you for joining us in this very special edition of 65. Today we've had the opportunity to talk to Mama Mrs. Gladys Olubunmi Jegede ní Fashoro. She's a nanogenarian. She's shared some useful insights about her growing up, about her family life, her work life, and what makes her to be who she is today. Please join us on our various media handles, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. Tell us what other ideas you have about subject matters. Share your comments. Follow us until we come your way again on 65. It's bye-bye for now.